Hello, my name is Chase.
And my name is Blakeston.
Welcome to the Well Thought Out podcast, where we do our best to have opinions that are
Well thought out.
The sun is 150 degrees. Let's get popping.
It's hot as fuck in here.
That was it. Sitting on a toilet.
It's cold. Oh.
Sitting on toilet.
Yeah, yeet.
Sitting on toilet.
Yeah, yeet.
I know you guys remember that one.
Yep. I know what he's talking about, but
You never heard that? That was a viral.
No. I knew what you were talking about, but for the viewers, explain it. I totally do. I just want them to know.
That was an old virality. Yep. All right, you guys, we are here for episode 3 of Well Thought Out. I'm telling you right now, we have spent a little bit more time figuring out what we were going to talk about during this episode.
Not much.
I can tell you probably triple the amount of time. Last time was 1 to 2 minutes. This time was like 6 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, Desi put a lot of effort and thought. Chase and I aren't. I'm trying to work better on how I talk about myself. But if I am an idiot, I'm just observing the truth. You know, I don't know what to tell people.
What he's talking about, you guys, is the self-deprecation. That's what he's referring to. He constantly calls himself an idiot and things like that. So we have two schools of thought on this, and we'll get into it. Our roommate Jamie, this man is wise beyond his years. Either he's wise beyond his years. He's our roommate. For those of you who don't know, Jamie's our roommate. He's a professional rugby player. Either we think
top tier, not just some Joe Schmuck professional rugby player.
Oh, a top tier lad,
literally
for sure.
as it gets.
Yeah, and very handsome. He looks like Travis Kelce's
hung like
buffer.
A horse too. It's incredible. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. What are the rules on our podcast?
Depends on the sponsorships you want, my friend.
Okay, I take it back. If you're looking to sponsor us, disregard everything I say.
Large sponsorships. Don't worry about the penis references.
All
right. That said, our roommate Jamie, who's from Ireland, I don't know if he's actually wise or if it's the Irish accent that just really makes me have to listen to everything he says.
Doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me if he is or isn't. I'm listening.
And he said that there is absolutely some power behind the self-deprecation, and that even though we know we are joking, talking about like, yeah, don't take anything I'm saying seriously. I'm an idiot. Blah blah blah. This, that, and the third. I'm a dumb bitch. Like, because we'll say that jokingly all the time.
It's true.
And he said that we say it, or it's true.
I mean, it's a whole shtick. We say it all the time, and if anything, neither of us help each other. We make it a lot worse. It's a whole shtick. We do this. I say, well, I'm an idiot. So I mean, and then Chase like, well, hold on,
hold on, and people will be like, well, and I'm like, well, hold on. He's a dumb bitch.
Yeah, and then well, no, hold on. It's true. I am.
It's a whole thing that we do. So Jamie says that there's some power in that. Those words, whether we know we're joking, even though the truth of the truth, we know we're joking, our self-conscious and our subliminal mind. Okay. Back to our topic. We have technical issues. I'm telling you guys, starting a podcast in a sauna is riddled with technical difficulties to overcome. It would be very simple to just have a desk and sit down, but it's 2-dimensional. There's 1,000 people already doing that, so we're doing it this way. Anyways, like I was saying, and it has rubbed off me. It's definitely from Blakeston, as most jokes here.
Yeah, that's true too.
Most jokes here are from Blakeston, so this one is definitely from Blakeston, but it's a bad habit that I picked up, which I don't even know if it's a bad habit. That remains to be seen, and we're going to get to that. But the self-deprecating talk, I think Jamie says that even though we know we're joking and it's funny in the moment, it genuinely is funny to me.
Yeah.
That our subconscious doesn't understand that, and it feels the negative energies and picks up on the negative energies and stores the negative energies, whatever you want to call it, and it actually does affect us in a negative way by speaking that universe into creation. And then I was like, okay, it might be some power behind that. You might be right. And I was telling Steven about it. Here's the opposing, there's the yin to that yang. The opposing school of thought said, Steven said, no, that's all bullshit. How does it make you feel? That's the truth of it, and it is whatever you make it. And if you're doing it and you are serious, then of course that's just negative shit. But if you're not being serious and both people know you're completely joking and you guys are both laughing and having a good time, that's the truth of it. And
you know what I think? I think,
Blakeston, we're here in a podcast with you to get your thoughts on it.
I think, and I spent the whole time listening to you, so I made sure that my thoughts were well thought out. I think that it is literally just like everything in the world that I've experienced so far. It is neither both sides, but also
simultaneously both.
Yes, I think both of them are right, but both of them are wrong. I've thought a lot about this since we talked about this 3 or 4 days ago, and Jamie was saying that that kind of stuff puts that energy out there, whatnot. I think within reason. I think that I exhibit both sides of what Steven was saying, where it's just fun and it is purely just a good time. And then also what Jamie was saying, there's times when I'll be chatting with girls or I'll be talking to girls for a couple weeks where we're kind of dating or whatnot. And they will literally ask me like, why do you say such negative stuff about yourself? And I think it's some sort of a defense mechanism, and depending
And
on...
he answers them. He says, "Because I'm a short, dumb bitch." What
Yep,
do you mean?
exactly. I continue. I proceed. I push forward mainly because I'm not soft. I'm
Power through the
strong-willed. I power through the negative self-talk and continue to do so.
And if he
But-
and if he gives a legitimate answer, that's him opening up to a girl, and he
Yeah,
can't have
I
that.
can't have all that. So I think that it's a combination of the two. I think that I do have an issue where I'll talk negatively about myself to how I deal with certain issues, but I also find that when Chase and I do our little shtick of wow, we're idiots, we're and having a good time, and it is just us having fun and whatnot. If I do something, I caught myself doing this the other day. I'll mess up, like mistype a text or something that simple, or maybe a little more. I will literally say, "I'm a fucking idiot," and then I'm like, well, there I mean it a little bit. There I'm like, I obviously like I'm not serious, but I'm kind of like I did something I'm not proud of, or I did something I screwed up, and then I'm just talking shit on myself. And I think Jamie has a point. And I've caught myself recently doing that a couple of times when I'm not joking at all. I'm literally just saying the words, and then I'm like, oh, well, I already didn't mean to do that. It's not a big deal, but I say that, and it probably does create some sort of negativity. I'm sure he's right on some.
So that
level.
joking, I mean, that is a habit you're establishing, and when I'm a firm believer that we are pretty much 99% of what we do is strictly out of habit. So if you get into the habit of saying things like that out loud when you are joking, and then the serious thing comes up, like you said, then you just revert back to your habit, and then you actually mean it. So the meaning changes just because the habit is established.
Yeah.
And shouts to Dr. Todd on this one. He was my middle school principal. I didn't like the guy whatsoever. Nonetheless, I was a shithead, so it was probably on me.
I can guarantee you it was on you.
I guarantee it was.
I know
too.
you now, and you're tremendously better than you probably were back then.
And I'm still a shithead.
And you still, yep. There we go again with the negative self-talk.
But that's not just a shithead, though. That's not.
Observations.
Anyways, I'm going to go down a rabbit hole. I am a shithead. In an endearing type of way. 8th grade graduation, Dr. Todd told us this parable, and this shit has stuck with me, and I'm sure other people have heard this before. But I'll do a quick summary, less than 2-minute summary. But it completely relates to exactly what we're talking about and across the board, I think.
You will get to it.
There was a wise man in a village who people would come to throughout that village for help, guidance with their problems. Different circumstances would come up. They would, consult with the old man, this old wise man, to get the help that they needed. There was a young whippersnapper who tested this old man. He'd like to test this old man and go get his guidance on various topics just to see if the old man was actually as wise as everybody thought he was, and he figured out how he could put the old man to the test. And he had his little bird in his hand, covered up in his hands, and he went to the old man and he told the old man, "I got this bird in my hand. Is this bird dead or alive?" And he already had a plan. If the old man said the bird was alive, he was going to crush it and show him the dead bird. And if he said the bird was dead, then he would just open up his hands and let the bird fly out. So he said, "I'm going to trick this old man. I'm going to get this old man who's not as wise as he thinks he is." So he goes to the old man, and he told the wise old man, "I have a bird in my hands. Is this bird dead or alive?" And the old man told him, "It is as you will have it be." And the little kid got punked. That's what happened. And I think that's everything. The power behind what you're talking about, it is the power that you give it. It is whatever you make it be, that's what it's going to be. If you revert to that habit of self-deprecating in times that you actually do make a mistake or are feeling down, then yeah, that's some powerful shit. Whereas if you understand the context of what we're doing and the interaction that you and I have, and which is infinitely complex in itself, the relationship that you and I have established, it's banter, it's fun, it makes me feel good, it literally brings me belly laughs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it is as we will have it be.
That's a good point. I agree with everything Chase just said.
The kid was a psychopath. He killed the bird afterwards anyway.
And that doesn't even make sense. If you kill the bird, if he says it's alive, then kill the bird, the dude was still right, and you're just a sociopath. You just have some
it's a parable, my friend.
Yeah, I have a pair of bowls upstairs. What's up?
I don't even know what you're getting at.
There's 2 bowls upstairs.
He's booing.
Oh no, the joke's bad. It's too hot in here is the problem, not me.
People will tell me their name in the sauna at the YMCA. People will tell me their name, and I'll have a whole discussion with them, and then completely forget. And I've learned it happened 10 times. So I was like, dude, in the sauna, I'm actually delirious.
Yep.
I'm actually delirious.
Yeah. And that is one of my favorite stand-ups, Eddie Murphy, Delirious. That's a good one. what I've noticed when it comes
Did you
to
watch that
remembering,
as a kid?
I did. I'm with my dad. Eddie Murphy, Delirious.
Is that the old Eddie Murphy?
Yeah,
You cannot
because he
watch-
did Eddie Murphy Raw and Delirious, and I've watched it again since. It's not the same like funny, but it has a nostalgia for me. It is so funny. It is back in the day. He was like 21 when he filmed it, and there's some good stuff in there. But
I need to adjust. I need to be able to lean forward.
All right, we're adjusting. Look at us go.
All right.
We're figuring this out.
Comfy again.
So we wanted to. Is there anything specific you wanted to talk about on this episode? We're doing this. This is our third episode. We're trying to think of. We're figuring it out with you guys. We're trying to think of themes or what to do exactly, how to situate the podcast. I want to do some segments within each episode, which I have some ideas, but we're just kind of sending it and figuring it out as we go, as we do with pretty much everything we've ever done.
Blakeston had a good idea. Yeah, for any of you, this is case in point practice.
This is your
right
sign.
Now. It remains to be seen if this is successful or not, but we're not worried about that. If you're at a point where you want to do something and you're crippled by the idea of starting, you have to start. Think about the elaborate setup for this podcast, and we just did it. We have no idea if it will be successful. We have no idea what it will do, but we just did it. We stopped talking about it. We started putting our ideas and our imagination into action, and we're doing it.
Which is something that I still struggle with. Chase is about as good at sending it as, and sometimes sending it too hard in certain situations, i.e. a warehouse in Dallas, but we aren't talking about that. I'm the opposite, whereas I like to think about things a little too much, which is just as equally a problem, if not more of a problem. Before we even walked in for this podcast, for today, I said, well, let's figure out this a little more. And he's like, well, just get in there and we'll figure it out. And then that's what we're doing. I'm like, oh, yeah, it doesn't have to be. We just figure it out as we go. So, it's a good little yin and yang we got going on here. Smart and nice words.
Do something healthy.
And smart and educated.
There you go.
As I am.
Blakeston is the academic. He went to school.
Yeah, I have accolades.
That's actually applicable. So,
yep.
You tried to sound dumb with a different word that was similar.
How do you
to
know I tried to
academic,
sound
but
dumb?
different?
How do you know that I tried to sound dumb? Just yep. That is how you know stuff. Yep, that's a good point.
Blakeston, tell us your life story.
All right, we'll do a little life story guide. Chase and I'll give you a background to who we are. We already talked about what got us wanting to do the sauna and our friendship, but we'll go way back. My life story begins, and we won't go crazy in depth, but just to give you kind of a.
Did it begin on your birthday?
I was birthed that day. If that's is that what you mean?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yep, it's in the name for future reference. It's in the name.
Nice.
Yep. So, anyway, I was born and raised in and around Kansas City, a little bit north of Kansas City, but I've lived here my whole life. Went to high school a little bit north of here at a high school called Excelsior Springs.
Alka-Seltzer Springs.
Excelsior Springs. My mom moved around a lot when I was younger, and not just from school to school, but from school district to school district around Kansas City. And that led to, I had no social awareness of social cues, but I was just as rambunctious and talkative as I am now. So that led to me being the new kid, the new short, chunky kid that talked too much. And I was friends with all the teachers. I think they vibed with me just because I was goofy and whatnot.
You were mature for your age.
That's one way to look at it. I think it might, now that I'm looking at it, they might have felt sorry for me. But either way, I remembered.
Oh God!
I distinctly remember just always trying to be the class clown, and I had fun, but that led to a lot of people not liking me. So when I was younger, I got bullied and picked on quite a bit. Nothing like too out of the ordinary. I didn't really get like my ass kicked or anything, but definitely I got punched in the face and I got a little bit of abuse here and there. But it turned me into the man I am, is what I think. I think a certain amount of hardships is good. So, I mean, there's some interesting story. So my mom, I think she hated me. This is something I always go back to. She's
Do I laugh? Are you being serious?
I think so. I'll tell you
Not
why.
hated you.
I think she had it in for me. I think
Jesus, bro.
Not like literally. I think that she loves me and always has. But there's something about giving your kid a satchel backpack and making him play the viola in middle school at a new school that it requires a certain amount of hatred to get there.
Honestly, what if your mom is a genius? She knew that she didn't have it within herself to give you that. So she's like, fuck it, I'm going to make him wear a satchel. I'm going to make him
She-
play the viola. I'm going to feed him all these fucking fat foods.
Hold on. She had it within herself. She would make me go clean up dog shit if she was upset with me. She had a little bit within herself. But she, throughout middle school, or elementary school and middle school, moved around a lot. I had some close friends in 5th grade through like 8th grade. I lived in Independence, and I had 4 or 5 really, really close friends that we all lived within 2-3 blocks of each other. And
That is
forget,
so cool.
I forget to give this like appreciation because I
Yep.
didn't have any friends throughout school, any other friends other than these 4 or 5 kids. And it was every day we would go hang out. We'd play I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, but we called it Smear the Queer. And we had this big Samoan dude that was, when I say big, he's big for an adult my size. He's way larger than I am now, and I'm a large adult. I'm not small. And he's like Jamie's size, he was like 280, 290 as a 6th, 7th grader. And
Jesus
and
Christ.
it would have it's a movie. It would be 4 of us hanging by his legs. He'd be just trotting along. But so
He was an absolute Clydesdale.
yeah. And anyway, throughout middle school, I definitely created some awesome like friendships, and one of the guys I was best friends with in middle school and stayed in touch with, I was his best man in his wedding a year or 2 ago. And
Shouts to Ross, right?
yep, Ross Tarantola, shouts to you, my friend.
Not dressed for less.
And then another one of my best friends, Cameron, he hit me up, and I moved him for free just because I wanted to show my appreciation for his friendship throughout my younger years, because I didn't have a lot of close friends. And he said, literally word for word, he said that is the nicest thing that he thinks anyone's done for him. And I almost teared up on the spot. It was really cool. So
That goes to show. You never
Yeah.
know how the little shit that we do is going to impact somebody. For real. For
yeah,
real.
yeah. So
On that note, real quick, Blakeston, I have had several things, and I know you have too, where you do something for somebody that's like, yeah, of course I'm going to do this for you,
Yep.
just to find out down the road what it meant to them.
exactly.
That's some powerful shit.
And that is why, just to branch off that real quick, and I'll get back to my story, is why I always put myself, or not always, which you and Steven helped me with this.
You're
but
very good at putting yourself second.
I do everything I can, if I can, even if it's inconvenient for me, to do stuff for people, especially because 90% of the time it's easier for me than whatever the person's asking. Whether it's moving them, which obviously I'm well versed because I run a company and all that. So that always comes back to pay off. The 2, 3, 4 hours of inconvenience, which isn't that big of a deal. I have time to spare. It is something that's tremendous for these people. So
You get into the habit of doing things, and this is what I was, and especially like, for example, with moving something, because obviously over the years, that's something we've gotten drug into more times than I can count.
yes,
You're like, fuck, of course I don't want to deal with this. But you get into the habit of saying yes, and as soon as you're out there, you're like, yeah, we're just here,
Yep.
we're doing it. It's the only shitty part is the very beginning of saying yes and making that commitment.
Yep.
As soon as you're out there and actually helping somebody and dealing with it, you're like, yeah, this is not bad. I'm glad I'm here. And then especially when you get done, you're
especially
like,
with our personalities, Chase and I do almost everything together, and we get mad when the other one asks if we're willing to help out.
yeah, you son of a
But
bitch. I was
anyway-
gonna go put the weight equipment together.
Anyway, just to get back to the story, that was throughout middle school. High school turned out to be yes, I played the viola in middle school. I was first chair viola. No, Ross and I we would both be first chair. Yep, that was my best friend, and we both played viola. So then I went to high school, and I moved in with my dad, and my mom, God bless her, she definitely, I think she did her best, but definitely did not raise me to be tough.
Sometimes your best is just not good enough, moms.
Yep. No, she did what she could. She was out there figuring it out. But did not raise me to be tough. Luckily I moved in with my dad, and he had a different parenting style. Both came from a loving attempt, but a different parenting style, and he taught me to kind of figure it out and not be so soft about things. And then as I got older, I adapted and figured things out. But in high school, I started playing sports. Played soccer, continued to play soccer, played some baseball.
You played that growing up?
I played soccer my whole life. Yeah.
Yeah.
I played throughout middle school. My mom, I never played on like any good leagues. It was always like Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
And in fact, my mom coached me one year. And she
Just to confirm, this is a woman who knows literally nothing about soccer, right?
I think she knows next to nothing.
Okay.
And
right adjacent to nothing.
yeah. It was an age where it doesn't really matter. Go ahead.
Akin to nothing.
Yep. A Ken doll to nothing.
Kin, my friend.
Yeah, we're saying the same thing. And she coached us, and just to tell you how bad the team was, we had a kid, and a little bit about my mom. She's kind of a hippie. We had a kid score a goal on us, dribbled all the way to the wrong side of the field, scored on us, and she cheered for him.
Time out. Was she just as lost in the sauce, or did she want to celebrate his accomplishment?
She wanted to celebrate his accomplishment. That's kind of how she is. She's a teacher, so she out there supporting people, and she would cheer for the other team whenever I was growing up, if they scored or did well, because she just wanted to cheer for people, and I would get mad. Now I wouldn't care, but I would get mad. I was like, "What are you doing? Like, we're trying to win." Anyway, we're getting too lost in the sauce over here.
I appreciate Aurora's enthusiasm.
Her name used to be Rachel. She changed it to Aurora Borealis. And so fast forward to high school.
Aurora Borealis, more like Aurora Borealis.
You just said the same thing.
It's the same exact word. Fucking
we get to high school, and I started getting in better shape, more athletic, and played soccer and baseball. Wasn't very great at baseball. I was all right, but and I had a blast. It was very fun. And then soccer, I got pretty good at soccer. I wasn't incredibly good, but I was good enough to go play at junior college for 2 years, and then play at a NAIA school in Kansas. And then I finished up my collegiate festivities at Park University, which is close by. In high school, the bullying really, I look back now, and there was a lot. It was a little more sophisticated bullying, but I started to where I was getting along with everybody. I just was new to the high school my freshman year, so everyone had their friend groups they've been friends with. I was always like just tagging along with the friend groups, but there were some really cool people I met that went out of their way to make me feel involved and whatnot. And I a couple guys, Dalton and Brandon. There's a couple guys that I worked out with for a couple of years, and it was really cool. Then college is where I flourished.
Yeah, you were on the Applebee's Flourish.
Yep, I was a florist. So I continued to play college soccer, and at Maple Woods Community College.
Shouts.
Shouts out.
That's my alum as well.
Yep.
Alumni.
And I was all right, but I learned a lot. I was never like the best athlete, but I always worked very hard. And my sophomore year, I was able to get a scholarship.
I'm sorry to cut you off. I just realized alumni is the person. You say that's my alma mater.
That's a good point.
Is that right? Somebody help me.
So.
I'm not a college person by
you are a Maple Woods alumni.
I did see a sign for Church of Laszlo on the highway, and it said this is what 3 semesters of junior college sounds like, and it was an advertisement for Church of Laszlo on 96.5 The Buzz, and I always thought that was funny because I was like, yeah, that's me. This is what 3 semesters of JUCO sounds like.
So in college, I went to school. Didn't know what I was going to go to school for until like my junior or senior year, but had an idea but didn't solidify it. I went to school for fitness and wellness, and played soccer for 3 years. My 4th year, I was the assistant for my internship. I was the assistant coach at Maple Woods. I ran their strength and conditioning program. I say that loosely. I would write up some workouts, have the guys do some stuff. I know a lot more now. I would do a lot of things different, but it was a very cool experience. I learned a tremendous amount there because I was 20, I think I was 21, coaching guys at the junior college level that like 6 or 7 of the guys on the team were older than me. So to earn that respect and all that, it was a tremendous learning experience for me and very cool.
That does seem very cool.
Yeah. So after college, I was a personal trainer at the YMCA, and I was living with some roommates and whatnot. I moved out when I was 18, so I lived with all sorts of people throughout college. 2 of my best friends, Daniel Jackson, shouts out, and Tim Kloster. Dan's from England and Tim's from Germany. Played soccer with them, and then after college, lived with Tim for a little bit, ended up moving in with Chase.
And that's where our love story began.
That's right. I met Chase and Steven, and then the whole fiasco started of us working together, hanging out together, and then now here we are. Obviously, there's more to it athletic-wise, which I think is a massive part of my life. shortly after college, I was working out, but not the same passion because I wasn't playing soccer anymore. I met Peyton Ireland, who is one of my best friends. We'll get him in here eventually. And he got me into powerlifting. This man is a unit. He is literally one of the strongest human beings I've ever met in my entire life, and incredibly humble, and just, you wouldn't know it. He doesn't even like talking about how strong he is. But he was ranked 6th or 7th in the nation in the juniors category, and just incredibly strong. He got me into powerlifting, so I got pretty strong. And then you asked what my numbers were just now.
Blakeston, what were your total, like your PR, your best numbers for your squat, bench, and deadlift?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a good question.
Because for those of you who don't know, those are the three for the American Powerlifting Association.
It's there's a couple different ones. There's USAPL.
For the United States Powerlifting Association.
Which is what you just thought, you remembered just now. I
just remembered myself. They go off of squat, bench, and deadlift totals per weight class. So what were yours?
My squat was 525.
Very good.
My deadlift was 535 or 545. Not much better than my squat. I can't remember. And then my bench was 355.
Very good.
None of those I got in competition. Competition's always harder because I was always cutting 15 or 20 pounds. So
Jesus.
It'd be 15 to 20 pounds lighter than that per lift, but those were my gym lifts. So anyway, playing college soccer and going into powerlifting gave me a good pedigree for playing rugby. And it only took probably about a year of convincing from Chase and Steven for me to start playing rugby with them, which they've been playing for a long time. And I never looked back. I started playing about a little over 2 years ago, but I was injured for the majority of my second season. So I literally only had like a season and a half of rugby. And it's been awesome. It's been an incredible experience to hang out with the guys, to learn a physical sport, to push myself and be as tough as I can. And
I remember the days, you guys, where Blakeston legitimately thought he was a soccer player.
Yep. Who did I think I was? That's kind of my little story. I do tell people all the time that I'll joke about being bullied when I was younger, and there were some things where it was just pretty regular, and then some where it was like a movie. I've told Chase this story. In my middle school, we rode the same bus as the high school, and I remember I had my first ever phone. It was a flip phone when I was like in 7th grade, and I flipped it up, took a picture of my buddy, and there were 3 high school girls that thought I took a picture of them. They were telling me, delete it off your phone. And I was like, no, like I just took a picture of my friend. And they got off the bus. I had the satchel and the viola, I deserved it. They
didn't deserve it, my friend.
Got off at the wrong stop to harass me. They were pulling at my satchel, grabbing the viola. And the lady that I used to go over to her house because my mom would still be at work, my next door neighbor, she came out yelling at them just like a move. She's like, "Hey, get out here!" And they scrammed off. In my head, they went 3 different directions. And so,
like the fucking cockroaches that they are.
With that said, a lot of one time I got punched in the face, and it makes me cringe at how soft I was. I didn't know what to do. It was literally just a small argument, and he was kind of a friend of mine, but more of a mutual friend, and we were trying to play PlayStation at my house on my PlayStation. He tried to grab the controller. I wouldn't let him, and he punched me in the face. And then I just sat there. I did nothing about it. And
if we're being real, that's tougher than anything.
I don't know.
Not in the moment, but
yeah. And so my buddies took him out of there. Obviously, the kid that did that, we've talked since, and he's a good dude, and he, we're friends now. But I think I learned a lot from those life lessons.
I don't want to distract you, but I have to get out of here.
Yep, we might as well.
For those of you who don't know, let me set the setting real quick before we take a quick pause. It's 150 degrees here in the sauna. We've been in here for 45 minutes, and I'm literally on the verge of passing out. I was being as patient as I could, waiting for Blakeston to finish up his story.
And we'll get on out of here. We'll be right back.
Yeah, and action. Blakeston, that is your coffee down there. That's how you live your life, my friend.
So I'm going to disregard what he meant by that. It's
nothing but lip coming from over here.
This guy over here is talking that good. We brought hot coffee into a hot sauna because we're, what is the word? Psychopaths? Is that one way that you would put it?
Unorthodox.
Yeah. I haven't been to the orthodontist in a while, but here.
I don't want to do this.
What's up?
I'm not joking. Like I tell you, like me saying it is kind of becoming a joke. I don't want to do it.
So Chase bought me this as a gift. He's, I have this thing where I always buy, every time we're at a coffee shop, I buy a shirt for me and Chase. Pretty much always it's just me and Chase because I have no other friends. And then
he buys shirts for me and for us.
For
we
us.
don't buy a shirt for me.
Oh
and you.
yeah, I buy, yeah. And it's not just coffee shops. That just happens. It's not just coffee shops. It's really anywhere. We did it at the Lake of the Ozarks. I got you a tank top. Yeah, we did the whole nine. And he bought me a cup, and I really like it. I think this is sophistication and elegance all in one.
For those of you who can't see, he's got a glass coffee mug, so it's see-through, but it's got gold
rim jobs,
a gold rim on top, and it's got gold lettering. It looks really good. And he told me he's sick of T-shirts. He doesn't want a T-shirt. When we were at the filling station over in Shawnee.
Well, more specifically, they always don't fit the way that I want. But yes, that was my little tidbit of a life story. Nothing too in-depth or crazy there. Really not too crazy of a life story. Just grew up in a separated household and met some cool people and lived life until I met Chase. And then we started doing the whole life thing, figuring it out together. And now here we are.
I like this chapter.
Yeah.
And Blakeston, the most important thing you said, I'm not even joking. I've thought about this before. You got the kids who come up on with a silver spoon, and you got the kids who come up in absolutely atrocious situations. And obviously both things are bad. I truly believe in what you said about a healthy amount of adversity. If a kid has no adversity, it's not setting them up for success, because the world, the adult life of figuring things out for yourself is filled with adversity. And if you've never developed the skills to overcome those obstacles, then you just have to figure. And the consequences when you're an adult are much bigger. When you're a kid,
Yeah.
if you develop those skills to overcome little tiny things, which they feel big when you're a kid, but they're really don't have a huge impact, but you develop the skills, the skill set remains the same of going through emotional hardship. So then when you're an adult where the consequences actually matter, you have that developed of, I've dealt with this shit before, I will overcome this. And you have a healthy way of thinking about things and a healthy way of tackling different obstacles.
Yep.
And I think I truly, truly believe in a healthy amount of adversity. And when I'm raising Violet, that is one of the primary things that I think of is, yeah, of course I can't give her everything she wants, but also everything that I do for her comes from a place of love and being mindful, seriously addressing why am I doing what I'm doing with her, and having a good reason.
And just to branch off that a little bit, and then I want to get into some of the funny topics that we got to talk about, because I'm excited for that. Is you said it's important for kids to have a certain amount of healthy adversity, or I can't remember exactly.
A healthy amount of adversity.
A healthy amount of adversity.
I guess, and type too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I think it's not just limited to kids. Obviously, you say kids mainly probably because they are the most
malleable.
Malleable. They're in the best position to take something and apply it to their lives. Whereas once people are adults, they're kind of set in their ways. But I think adversity is incredibly helpful for people, no matter what age. You look at your business, that you started and I now run. The amount of adversity and crazy things that have happened and shit that's been thrown our way and thrown your guys' way. If you didn't ever experience that, if this company was just easy, perfect, it would give you a skewed perception of how starting and running a business might be. And so I think all kind of adversity, even lately, you've been, not to touch on your life specifically too much, but you've been going through a time of kind of learning about yourself and, figuring out how to make yourself happy or kind of down in the dumps at times, which I've gone through my fair share of. And that in itself is a health. It gives you, I think it's given you lately, especially the past 3 or 4 days, a great perspective on I can sense your appreciation for people close in your life and things like that. If you're always just in operating at 80%, but never really pushed down below that, or, then you never really feel that kind of appreciation or understanding of what it is to actually be in a great mood and all that. So, that's just something that I was thinking about earlier. I want to talk on that note about, unless you have anything you want to say.
Mm-mm.
Okay. About some random things. I want to talk about anything and everything. We're trying to figure out how to set up this podcast. The first thing that I want to talk about is something I've seen talked about time and time again, and I want to get to the bottom of it. It is, are there more eyes on this planet, or are there more legs on this planet? I want to know.
Easy.
All right.
Easy.
All right. I'll start. So if you
Easy.
think it's not easy, I'll tell you why.
Simple.
No, simpleton. There's more.
Elementary.
There's definitely. So you think about all the people like in wheelchairs, right?
Literally simple.
All right. You think about all the people in wheelchairs, but then there's some people that have lost eyes. So then you got. It could even out there.
In which camp do you live?
What's up?
In which camp do you live? Are you more eyes camp, or you camp more legs?
Because
eyes. He said it.
Nope.
Oh, that was I. Never mind.
I think it's eyes, and I'll tell you why.
Idiot.
Oh, now we're on to something.
Imbecile.
I didn't know we would disagree. This is good. Okay, so I think it's eyes, and this is why.
Moron.
This is why, right? You look at insects. Yeah, there's insects with a lot of legs, whatever. But you look at some insects, they got eyes upon eyes upon eyes, right? Then you look at the fish. You look at the ocean. We've discovered like 5% of the ocean, right? Can you imagine how many millions and billions and quadrillions and trillions?
Let me go add up all the eyes from the 73 fish out in the sea.
This dude's talking about how many fish are in a fish tank at a really nice restaurant.
3.
Dog, come on. The amount of, come on.
How many eyes can you look up, how many eyes does a housefly have? I think, like, if you see like a zoomed up or artistic picture of a housefly, it looks like they have like 1,000 eyes on each eyeball, whatever that means.
Yeah, so it looks like
3 eyes.
Okay.
They've got their left eye, their right eye, and their brown eye.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. They have
what does that even mean?
A household fly has 3,000 to 6,000 simple eyes. Okay, we'll count all those individually.
Yeah, and I'm a simple guy.
Wrong.
Too. Well, okay. Tell me your answer and why.
Wrong.
I disagree with you.
You simple man.
All right, let's hear it.
This is simple maths. This is quick maths.
Quick maths.
You take every eye.
Okay.
Write it out in a column, one by one individually.
Yeah.
You take every leg. Write it out one by one individually.
Okay.
Cross off, cancel. Yeah. This for this.
And then
there will be more legs.
Okay, that's your answer. Your answer is just is saying out longer the statement that
there
we're
are
all
more legs.
at.
Okay, so hear me out.
All right.
I think you're severely. Let me fix this microphone because this is important shit here.
All right. Well, hold on. Do I insult you the whole time too?
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right. Go. All right. You go.
I was getting getting mine in.
Go
okay.
You're a stupid bitch. Sorry. My bad.
I haven't even started yet. Okay.
I jumped the gun.
There are absolutely more legs than there are eyes, and I'll tell you why. Think about, and I've heard this, and I can't remember. Maybe
Desi. I just wanted to try it.
It feels good, doesn't it? It's funny.
It's exhilarating.
Desi could look it up, but I have heard that they give up on trying to count how many ants there are in this world. Ants have 6 legs each. And they measure these motherfuckers by biomass. They don't measure them by count. It's unfathomable. It's unimaginable.
You know how I know this argument doesn't matter?
It's indefinite.
Do you know? Because he said they gave up on trying to count how many ants there are. That means they tried. They didn't even try that with fish. They know better. They know better.
They don't even measure.
I just made that up too.
They don't even measure ants by count. They don't even try to approximate the number, if you will, which I know we always do.
I 100% will always.
We will. We will. We will.
We'll do it.
We will.
Yeah, for sure. Wrong.
They don't. They don't even try to measure ants, the quantity of ants, by the number of ants. They measure ants by a term called biomass. So starting right there, and they say that ants.
It looks like they estimate 20 quadrillion ants on the planet.
They estimate. Yeah. They estimate. Desi. Huh? Times 6. Desi. 1.2 times 10 to the 14th. Huh. Desi, look up this real quick.
How many fish?
This is important because think about this. We got to look up the amount of biomass. I've heard that ants out out.
I think.
Yeah, what a fucking There's 3.5 trillion fish.
I'm
what
pissed.
a small, infinitesimally small,
Fish in
unimaginably.
general?
That is
Are
like
you fucking shitting me?
I could hold that number in my hand. It's so small compared to the estimated number of ants. 3.5 trillion fish compared to 20
Can you imagine the
quadrillion.
Small, like what about
ants.
small like bacteria or stuff? Does that
hold
count?
on.
Do they
We
have
are
eyes? Well, bacteria.
No, hold
doesn't
on.
have eyes.
So we are.
There's got to be small.
Right now, we're getting
animals.
into quick Google answers. Listen, so the amount of the biomass of ants compared to the biomass of humans on this earth, they say there's 100 times more of the amount of ants. And think about how many ants it would take to make the mass of one human. You're talking minimum. I have no clue. 100,000, somewhere in the realm of 100,000 to a million ants to make one human.
Just so I can clarify, it's saying that 100 parts to one human of the amount of ants that make up the weight of a human. Or make up the mass of a human?
So to figure out how many ants make up the mass of a human, I'm saying anywhere from 100,000 to a million. Somewhere. Say
it's 100,000.
Okay, so 100,000 ants at 6 legs. So there's a 7 point.
No, I'm asking what you mean by. I'm asking what you mean by that definition, not the legs part.
Ask me the question again.
What are you saying? I just
yes,
want to clarify.
The mass. So measuring biomass, there's 100 times more of the mass of ants on this earth than if you added up all the mass of humans.
Yeah. Okay.
There's 100 times more.
Okay.
So that means if there's 100 times more, so they're all in a big ball.
Yep.
The ball of ants is 100 times bigger than the ball of humans.
I see.
100 times more massive. Sorry, but bigger. Yeah.
So if you took all the ants to make your body, there's 100
of me
of you versus the one. Okay. We're on the same page.
So think about the number of ants. That's anywhere from 100,000 to a million times when you look at the actual number, because ants are fucking tiny, times 6. So times anywhere from 100,000 to a million, again times 6, because there's 6 legs per ant. That's how many. That's just
well,
ants,
let me do the
dude.
math real quick.
Okay, here he goes.
Quick maths.
Hold on, but that's not even important. That's
and
just
then you carry
ants.
The 6.
Stop.
Well, 1 second, and then you carry the 6, and you get. It's at least 12 for sure. Go ahead.
And that's just ants. That's not all the other insects that have legs.
There are other insects with legs.
Fish. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of fish. I mean, but we're not even the same order of magnitude when we're talking trillions.
You know what I think? I think just on this note,
I think you want to change your answer.
Well, hold on. I don't want to change my answer. I just want to I like having Desi here. He's awesome. He's cool. But whatever he looked up,
he needs to fuck off.
Agreed with whatever you said. I think we should get a 4th person that only looks up stuff I want them to look up, and agrees with everything I say. Because I don't want the facts now. I want someone that agrees with me.
What do you guys think? Are there more eyes or legs? I will die on this hill of there are more legs in this world.
What do you consider vision?
So this is it. I've thought about this, and I've thought about. I have. If you have to have a sensor on your body that can
receive light,
interact with light in some way.
Okay, stop. Plants have been proven to see light.
Are you effing my A right now?
With a specific, an eye is a specific organ.
You guys can't hear
Hold on,
Desi.
time out. It has to have sorry, I should reframe now that you're saying that. It has to have an eye, because we're not saying what can see. We're saying what's considered an eye. That's a different question. If you have an organ, a specific organ that can receive light, and then and is not what's it called when you look at the data and make a decision? It's not done holistically. It's done sent via message to the brain. Maybe not even that simple, but a specific organ that reacts to light.
Yeah. And
does a plant have that, or is it like a holistic type thing? Because I have seen plants, if they're growing, they'll grow in the direction towards the light.
But that's just, yeah.
That is them reacting, but that's them reacting holistically to light. Yeah. That's not them having an organ, which we would call an eye.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's getting too deep into it, which is exactly what we should do. So
let's keep going.
So, all right, let's.
Plants have what's called an ocellus, which means it is a simple eye, which is what we just talked about with flies.
I think I'm right.
If we start counting plants, I still don't think we are even in the ballpark of the quadrillion. Dude, it was several orders of magnitude bigger. We're not talking ants. We're talking all insects. That was just That was just fish to ants. Think about all sea life to all terrestrial life. I don't even know non-sea life.
I'm gonna start going around just chopping people's legs off, and then I'm gonna make my argument work. All right. See, this is another one. All right.
Let us know in the comments. What do you guys think? Are there more legs, or are there more eyes in this world? Is it just Earth?
Just because yeah, that's a good point. That's beyond intellect. That
It's
I
just
can't even
Earth.
fathom.
What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments on are there more legs or are there more eyeballs?
Just so you guys know, I'm changing my answer. Chase has convinced me. Now we're on to a different subject. It's similar but different. Same but different.
But still same.
Want to know, but literally the exact same, other than the fact that it's different. I think, or I want to know, are there more windows or doors on the planet?
I've had this question asked before, and even just when we were upstairs and you were talking about the legs thing, I was like, yeah, you're already telling me more things than I've thought about before. The windows or doors makes me want to punch my microphone.
It's frustrating, man, because my initial thought is...
Well, hold on.
My initial thought is skyscrapers, there's windows everywhere. The whole outside is windows. And then I'm like, well, fuck, every floor probably has fucking hundreds of doors on it. Right? Inside, you do the inside.
If you just ask me the question,
okay,
keep it simple.
Yeah.
Are there more windows or doors?
Yep.
I'll say doors 100%.
I say windows.
And I got something for your bitch ass.
Fuck.
I got something for your bitch ass.
You know how I know I'm screwed?
What?
Because you're way smarter than me.
That's
I just
not
know
true.
that to be true.
That's not true.
And I think windows, my first thought is windows.
You didn't miss a day of high school, my friend.
Let's go.
You're incredibly intellectually superior.
That's a good fucking point. I just to start off, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 windows in this sauna. How many doors?
1 door.
Yep, bitch.
You could even count that potentially. No, that's not a door.
Yep.
And I'm telling you right now.
You guys can't hear, but Desi authentically laughed at my joke. So
this is gonna seem like cheating, but I want you to understand this is not cheating. This is my first initial reaction when you ask the question. This is my initial reaction. It's all gonna come down to semantics.
Yeah.
Metaphoric doors. There are literally an unlimited amount. I mean, obviously, if you're a god, you are omniscient. You would know, but there's an unlimited amount of doors that open up for people.
Yep.
And doors that close for people. So, are there more windows or doors? I don't really know of any metaphors for windows.
Windows into your soul. The window into your soul.
Okay, we'll count all of those metaphors. I think there are more doors because if we allow metaphors, which I don't see why we want it, words
maybe it's
are
just
words.
one door that everyone is using differently.
No, because there's different doors that open. There's no way it's one door because
you don't know that. It's a metaphor. It can be whatever. It's whatever I interpret it as.
So you think that your manager at Chili's coming down with a
I don't work there anymore, please.
Your old manager at Chili's coming down with a terminal illness that left a daytime manager position open there versus me inviting you to come work with us. Those are the same door? If you make that choice, that's the same. I'm asking you.
I know. I'm going to answer.
Are those the same door?
That's what I'm going to answer right now. I think I'm giving myself
take your time.
I think whenever I'm ready to answer it is
you'll
how
say
I'll
exactly
start the sentence.
Yeah, you'll say exactly what you think.
I think that it could be
for the sake of your argument.
Literally for the sake of my argument, it could be in some facet or even form, or depending on how it's looked at by me or even other people, that there's a potential for that the situation and exactly like what you are analyzing, not to be like overly analytical, is that it could be
get to it.
Imagine I'm
imagining
it's a Tuesday, right?
Yep.
But it's after,
just get to it,
after like a holiday, the holiday weekend, the trash didn't pick up because of and then so like whenever you go into work.
Well, real quick.
What's up?
Are those the same door?
They could be.
They're not.
They could be.
What if the
metaphoric door? What if the metaphoric doors that are being opened, right? What if it is one? Think about like Doctor Strange. Think about the infinite like things that we can't comprehend. What if it is one door that people are opening or closing via metaphorically at just different times in any kind of universe or thought? It's the same door just being opened in different ways.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just making stuff up.
Those are words that you're saying, but
let's get back to the windows or doors, because let's act like it's not a metaphor, and then we're back to the question.
I took the question as...
Well, I don't care what you took it as. I'm asking a different question.
Okay. So ask the question.
Are there more physical windows or doors on this planet?
Now we're talking.
We're verbalizing our words.
Don't say... You said it was even more elaborate and funny yesterday. Instead of now we're talking, it was at this point in time we are verbally communicating to one another using sounds, and it was.
I said,
and I was like, wait, now we're talking.
I
You're
said,
like, now we're talking.
at this point in time, we are verbalizing the thoughts that we are portraying, but we're using our verbal consciousness in order to put those out there, so the other person can receive it via the sound that reverberates off the inner ear cords that I just said
Don't
words
say
just
ear
now.
chords.
Right? I'm imagining a guitar chord that and you're like, oh, he just said that.
Okay, that's
how it works.
And
Are there more windows or doors, my friend?
Well, back to it. You could just say, now we're talking.
Oh, we're talking now.
Yeah, now we're talking.
Fuck.
All right. Are there more physical doors or physical windows in this world?
Yeah. Windows.
Does a doorway
100%.
Does a doorway count as a door?
It does not.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean,
it is the unit
does
itself.
a window,
it is the door.
Okay, does a window count if there's no glass in it, does it count as a window? What if
now that's a good fucking
No,
question.
you can't fucking say that.
No, I'm not
if
even
a doorway doesn't
I'm contemplating.
Okay.
I'm
going to talk while you're contemplating.
All right, but don't get mad at me.
I'm always mad at you.
Yeah, that's
if
a good point.
doorway doesn't count as a door,
well, let me think about that too. I just when
my initial reaction is that you jumped the gun. A threshold. That's a threshold versus something you look through.
So
a window is
doorway,
something you look through. A door is a threshold from one space to another.
Is it though?
Fuck, man.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
What's up? A window is...
See, it comes back to semantics.
Opening in a wall versus a door is a physical thing.
See, that's what... Yeah. But, okay, we can change the question. We can change the question to actual, like, windows from which... Because, like, just a hole in the wall is not an intentional window, necessarily. It's just a hole in the wall.
I have read when I was in...
Oh, no. That is fitted with glass.
Okay. All right. So it's windows versus doors. Physical.
Okay.
Physical windows that are created to be a window. What?
You just have shit that's just piled up at a warehouse. It's just, here's a stack of windows. Oh, yeah, I'm right over here. Because we're in this business, we also make doors. We've got a stack of doors over here.
But we got double the windows because it makes sense because Blakeston's right about his argument.
Stupid.
It's windows.
I don't have a dog in this fight. This is stupid.
All right, on to the next question.
Hold on.
We're back to this one.
This just reminds me because like if you do anything, if you have like a would you rather, or you have pretty much would you rather in the discussion we're having right now, and there's this idea that I learned about in philosophy in high school with Mr. Snelling. Shouts to Mr. Snelling, is literally one of the greatest teacher I've ever had. He's a gangster, dude. I'm like, I'll get emotional over thinking about this dude. He's so cool.
Well, relax, dude.
I know, I'm getting worked up. Anyways, I learned about, I think it was in philosophy, that there was this idea that literally everything we argue about, there is only one truth in this universe. Everything we argue is semantics. Which, if you think about it, if you really, really get down to it, are we using the right words? Okay, what do you mean? Because there is a right answer. Is there more doors or more windows? And the answer might change. The answer will change depending on how you define what.
There has to be something out there where the argument, no matter what, there is no such thing as semantics. It just is.
Is the argument.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I see what you're saying.
It seems to come up a lot where it's like, well, hold on, what are we talking about here? No matter what, like a would you rather, or it's like, what would you want your superhero to be? Okay, well, what are we talking about here? Is this it, you know? It all comes down to the words.
Dude, I was watching, because if you're talking about how things are worded, and like scapegoats or ways to get out of a certain thought process or whatever. Loopholes, if you will, you know.
Yeah, of course I will.
I'm going to, for
Jesus
sure.
Christ. You keep on asking. Yes, I always will.
What was I forgot the dude's name. Do you know, Desi, what's the guy's name that he mowed through a crowd of people, or not a crowd?
Oh, yeah, the psycho guy.
Yeah, the guy that just went to court. He just went to court.
The madman.
Drove through a crowd of people on Christmas Day, or I think it was a Christmas parade. It was a parade, for sure.
Was he in Indiana? Where was he?
Daryl Brooks.
Yeah, Daryl Brooks.
Daryl Brooks. If you guys watched that trial at all, obviously it was all over social media and whatnot. The dude is a psychopath. He's definitely crazy, but I think it calculated to some extent. It seemed like to me, and I'm no expert, that he was trying to cause some sort of a mistrial. He had no chance of getting out of it with a lawyer. So he was his own lawyer, and he just represented himself, and he just would constantly act as if he didn't understand what the judge was saying. He would word things in a way that was a nuisance, and the judge did a very good job, as far as I'm concerned, of constantly rewording. And it was like she was talking to a 4-year-old that doesn't fully understand anything. He was intentionally being a nuisance, but that is the semantics issue, and he almost used that to try and
so that
get
is
off with
that is even beyond this, and I think even more true. Legally,
Oh,
everything is semantics.
That's what it made me think of, though, is because
like when you're talking contracts and when you're talking written law, it is and I've noticed this, dude, with laws, every single thing comes down to judgment because everything will say, like, for example, even reasonable
which is
cause.
why she's called a judge.
Yeah, everything, and that's why we have what we have. There is no, he did this and he did this. There is always room for, it is nothing but gray.
Yeah.
So we have to have a judge to make the judgment or a judge
And
by
it's unlike,
your peers.
Yeah, and it's unlike anything, because, like, in the real world, if someone says some dumb shit to me and I just don't want to deal with it, I can just walk away, I can just leave it. The judge had to always reword things and keep saying the same thing and whatnot, no matter how many times he said, I don't understand, and he was just being a nuisance because he could get off because it's so
legally and in the criminal justice system, and like if you read the Constitution documents or the way laws are written out, or if you go to the ballot and
too many big long words.
And you actually if you go to the ballot and actually read through the law, it is fucking confusing.
Yeah.
And it is 100% semantics. That's what legal is semantics. Yeah, fuck that. We trying to get to the content of shit.
I did have one. I like the questions. The questions that are, how many like fourth graders could you fight off? How many fourth graders could you
pick a grade?
All right, let's start.
And of course, the first thing I'm thinking of is semantics. So we'll have to get into some definitions.
Well, that's exactly. Okay? So let's do. How old are third graders?
Third graders are 8.
8 years old. I'm trying to think of 8. So my nephew Max is 7, going on 8 here soon. I would mess his world up. So if we're talking, obviously the semantics, I think the biggest semantics issue is it a wave of them? Is it one-on-one? And then once you defeat the one, you get another? Is it, no? What Desi's, every 30 seconds. Okay, Desi's putting the rules on it. One comes out every 30 seconds. How many 8-year-olds can you defeat?
Further definitions needed. Think about a third grader.
Yeah.
He is not going to do anything to engage you. You have to have a zombie. Hold on.
Yep.
You have to have a zombie third grader, not only with zero inhibition, you have to have a third grader with pure unadulterated aggression.
Yep. Now we're talking.
They still have their physical limitations, but zero prefrontal cortex sort of, decision.
Disregard for safety, for sure.
Yeah. No regard for their own well-being, and they are as aggressive as a human being can be.
Because it defeats the purpose. If they're 8th graders that don't, or 8-year-olds that don't want to deal with it, and they're like,
they're just going to stand there and then you just uppercut them.
Yeah.
So zombie third graders who are actively trying to attack you.
Not actual zombies.
Think I Am Legend type mentality.
Okay, well, I still think I could hold my own for sure. I think that it would get overbearing.
Time out, this boy Desi's putting up game stats for those of you who don't know.
It
says
stats.
All of the children want to kill you. They're full aggro, average build, strength and speed.
Yeah.
They have the strength and speed. They have the strength and speed at the full potential of a third grader. So if it's a third grade, just imagine you have 1,000 third graders, real regular life third graders. They're just ultimately aggressive. They have the same strength, the same speed.
What is the limitation on defeating them? Is it they have to be unconscious? You have to kill them? You have to just knock them down? Where is the stopping?
I say
for each individual?
The win. It would have to be death, because if it's unconscious, as soon as they come to, they're back at it.
Right, they cannot come back. So if you knock them unconscious, that counts as a little defeat guy.
Okay.
It could be like a little video game. Yeah. Can you imagine? I would just start. I feel like punching to the sternum, because you're knocking the wind out, and you're not.
I meant to say yes, and I said yeet, and I said yeet.
Because if you're punching the face, that's the bones in the face are tough. You're risking some damage to your fist. You have to think about longevity of your body.
I disagree.
You disagree?
I'm going for the jaw.
Yeah.
It's soft, it's cushiony, and if you catch the jaw, that's death. That's literally death. That's going to turn their neck and break their neck.
Yeah.
And I would have to start throwing some lefts, because obviously your right's going to get very tired.
Oh, I'd kick. I played college soccer.
Yeah, dude,
I'd kick.
Remember when you broke it? On a side note, this man Blakeston was a 50-50 for a ball out in the open field. Blakeston, tell him what happened.
We were playing indoor soccer, and the goalie tried to run out. And I've learned throughout playing sports, if you don't send it 100%, you will get injured. So we both went to kick the ball. I made contact with the ball probably a millisecond before he did, and then and he went to kick at the same time. We're running opposite directions. My shin made contact with his shin, and it shattered his shin. It broke his shin. And he was laying there. Yeah, he was laying there holding his leg, And he was screaming, and I thought he was just being soft. I scored the goal, by the way. The kick broke his shin and simultaneously scored the goal. I just need that. It's a highlight reel that wasn't recorded. And I carried him out to his car to go to the hospital.
Ever since you told me that story, I'm not gonna lie, my heart is broken for this man. That feels like think about you're gonna go have some fun playing some co-ed soccer league, blah blah blah, to get your legs shattered. I would be pissed.
I looked back and they stopped the game. They didn't continue the game anymore.
Did you guys win?
Yeah, are you kidding me? I scored a goal by breaking someone's shin.
What if you were down 4-0 and that was one goal and you ended up forfeiting and losing 4-1 and you broke his leg?
Yeah, those were the days.
Because you won, it was worth it.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know, I'm laughing right now because I don't mean that whatsoever. My heart is broken for that kid because that's 6 months of rehab, maybe operations, like the whole 9 yards.
Well, let's answer the question. How many kids, how many 8-year-olds can we defeat?
So here it goes. Here's the stipulations. They are coming out. They're 8-year-olds, mix of boys and girls. One comes out every 30 seconds.
They're released every 30 seconds.
They are full aggression. They want to kill you, but they're average. They have their baseline human speed and strength. But the only thing is they're max aggression.
Every 30. So we play rugby, and physical altercations can get exhausting.
Yep.
I think the first 30 seconds is a long time. If they're right on you right away. Imagine if it takes them 20 seconds to run up to you, then well, it doesn't matter.
Then it'll take the next one 20 seconds too.
Yeah, you're smart. So I think you could start hitting up. You could start absolutely demolishing these dudes and get to 15 or 20 before you're like winded and tired.
Yeah.
Especially the shape Chase and I are in. We're in pretty good shape. We work out. We have been training for rugby. So I think.
Am I in a room with walls?
I was imagining open field.
Okay, open field.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking if I'm in a room with walls, once I get tired, I'm ankle grabbing, swinging head into walls. But if that's not an option, I don't know.
How heavy is the average 8-year-old? We're getting into this.
I bet the average 8-year-old weighs 60 pounds.
I bet they weigh 80 pounds.
Fuck, that's a big difference.
58 pounds.
58 pounds, yeah.
You are incredible.
Yeah, 60. So 60, we'll call it 60
me.
pounds. I mean, you're going to have some 80-pound-year-olds. 80
80
you're going to have some 80-pounders out there.
Yep, I'm guessing anywhere from 20 to 30. I think that once you start, I don't know. I need to
I think you're being incredibly conservative. I would say in the ballpark of 100.
Yeah.
I would say in the ballpark, because if it's life or death, you're going to have that adrenaline too.
It's the first 10 to 20, it's a one punch.
Yeah. First 10 to 20 is a haymaker.
Then after you got to conserve your energy. So it's the one
You're
punch,
right,
which
though,
is smart.
Because you punch them in the head, you misplace a punch, your wrist and your hand.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You misplace a punch, and if you don't get him on that first one, you're exerting more energy doing some stuff after that.
Think about running full speed. If you're in a field, it's grass.
Yeah.
You're running full speed, and then
Tackle.
Fuck a tackle.
Oh.
Jump up with your legs forward, flying forward, and right in the face. They're down. Even if that doesn't do them in, they're down.
That doesn't mean.
Oh, think about the atrocity of
I'm
actually having to finish off a damn zombie third grader. I'd be like, I probably wouldn't even have the stomach to do that.
Yeah, I'd do it.
All right, yeah, I'd do it.
Yeah,
Fine,
we
I'll
might
do
as
it.
well. Yeah, I'm putting it at 50. I think 50 is a good number of you're getting exhausted after. Yeah, but I don't know.
Every 30 seconds, yeah.
I think I'm being overzealous. It's more like 30.
Huh?
I think kids are
You're
stupid.
discounting how smart kids. You might have one smart kid.
Yeah.
All it takes is one to group them together and says, "I'm gonna wait."
No, the rule is they're just coming at you every 30 seconds. I thought
Full aggro means they don't have that rationale.
Yeah. But I see what you're saying.
Unless we're changing the semantics.
See, here we are, semantics.
I thought the full aggro just meant they're trying to kill you.
Okay. Full aggression is like seeing red. To me, it is no holds bar. But I think so. But it's a give and a take, because if we give them some critical thinking, that will definitely help in some aspects, but it'll take away in some aspects. But if they join up, dude, and they come at you, I think even 8 at once, you're probably going to be donezo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even 5. Right. Think about taking 5 60 pounds. Yeah, I don't know.
I have another question.
Well, hold on. I never answered.
Answer.
You don't care about my answer?
Answer.
I think you spoke what your heart desires.
What is it?
I think your heart.
Tell me your answer.
Well, now I have to think of what my answer is.
There
Let's talk through it.
All right, let's figure it out.
All right, next.
What's your answer?
I think it's more than 50. I think 30 seconds is a long time. I think I could get through 30 to 40 to 50 off top immediately, instantly, before I really start to get tired enough to where my first initial move is not going to finish him off.
Yeah. You can't word it like that.
Jesus Christ. It's not going to incapacitate them. Is that better? You fucking...
I'm looking out for you. I don't want you to get
prevert.
canceled.
You're a prevert.
All right, so my next question.
I never answered. I was still talking through, you son of a bitch.
Go ahead.
Maybe 100.
Yeah, I think Chase has the muscular endurance to be able to figure it out longer than I can. All right. Is that your answer? Final answer? Were you waiting on me?
Nope, you're all good. What's next? What's next on the
Desi
docket?
has some good questions up here. I want to read those, but first I have one.
Let me take a drink and let me go check on my daughter.
Okay.
Save that question.
All right.
Let me take a
Here we
drink and check
go.
on my daughter.
Yep, we're hitting a quick pause.
Because I'm not done.
And here we are. We're going to get a singing intermission from Blakeston Bryant.
You got enough water?
Just kidding. I'm not going to sing. Should I get out too to get some rest? But he's getting a break and I'm hot. What do I do? All right. Here I come. I'll be right back.
And we are back. And
We are
Blakeston,
back.
I hope you have a good one. I hope you have a good one.
All right. I don't have my answers, but I think it's a good question. Top 5 people.
Okay.
All right. You start.
And I mean, the hard part about this is 100% guaranteed that there's people who have done an immense amount of good that I've never heard of or know about, and that history doesn't know about in general.
I think you're misunderstanding. I think the hard part of this is, what does that mean?
No, that's easy for me. I got
Okay.
top 5 people.
All right, here we go. You start. No, we're starting at 5?
Number
Starting
5,
at 5.
Janan Day.
Desi doesn't know who that is. I do. but
Does he
Desi
need to?
doesn't. Describe it to Desi real quick, who that person is.
Janan Day, for those of you who don't know, is an absolutely beautiful and fantastic, marvelous, wonderful human being who's done more for me done more for me than my own parents have.
Oh, nice.
So this is my ex-BFF's mom,
Oh, very much nice.
and she calls me her son.
Oh, my goodness.
And she's lovely and wonderful and kind. And I think she's a witch. She might be a witch with how I have never seen her at full power, but I've seen her do some black magic fuckery that I'm like, well, hold on a
Okay.
second.
All right.
She's got strings, you guys. She's pulling strings out here in this world.
Okay.
Love you, Janan. Sorry that you're not higher on the list, but top 5. I mean, that's good, right?
No. We're on the same page. Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah. 5?
Yeah.
5?
Yeah, I think so. He's on the list no matter what. I just wanted to put him on there. Once I start naming people, he might get moved around. But Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
This is an organic list.
It doesn't even matter what the actual subject matter is. Top 5 people, you could think of anything. He's on the list. Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Hold
All right,
on. We're
number
getting
4.
a little bit of feedback.
Figure it out.
And now it's gone.
I got
Okay.
electrocuted too, and it was me doing something here.
Don't touch it. All right, we're good.
Okay, we're back.
Yeah.
It got
It discharges it,
It
yeah.
got me. Okay.
Oh, and I sound louder. Did you turn it up? Oh, okay. I was going to say I
Alright.
sound louder too. Okay.
Top 5 people. Number 4.
Number 4 for me. You know what I should have done, Blakeston?
What's that?
I should have been thinking while
Yeah.
you were going.
I'm trying to think now, and it's hard to focus.
All right, you think and just act like you're listening. It's not important if you are, because as long as the listeners are.
I can't do that.
Okay.
I have to listen and have stupid
Number 4,
things to
number
say.
4. One person comes to mind initially. Actually, 2 people just came to mind. I'm gonna go with Marie Curie. Mariah Carey. Not Mariah Carey.
Okay.
Marie Carey. Who? What?
Oh, Mercury. That's a different thing. We're talking about people.
I think you're thinking of something different. She
Okay.
was a chemist. Desi, was she a chemist? Did she discover the structure of DNA? Curie? I think Curie. Curie.
I think she created the Keurig.
She was either a chemist or a biologist. What'd she do?
Discovery of radium, polonium, and her huge contribution in finding treatments to cancer.
Oh, treatments to cancer. That's not who I thought that was. A fascinating woman. Absolutely deserves all the accolades. Can I take it back?
All right.
I'm sorry, Miss Curie, but I take it back.
All right.
No
Number 4.
offense, because this is incredibly objective.
Number 4.
Subjective. Sorry.
Those are words.
This is exclusively subjective. Number 4, Louis Pasteur. I pick Louis Pasteur.
You know Chase is smart. He's picking. I got a good one.
What do you mean? Was mine not good?
I don't know who
Think
that
about
is.
list of accomplishments for Louis Pasteur. Look this shit up, Desi. Tell me this man was not incredible.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of pasteurization?
Yes.
Invented it. Discovered it. Whatever you want to say.
Yeah, is that too?
I think Louis Pasteur was the one who was like told the doctors you should probably be washing your hands before you do operations because.
All right, we're taking too long in between people. I
don't think so.
All right, then what is it? Who is it?
I think we're taking just enough time.
This is way too much. This motherfucker's done.
Yeah, he did a lot of stuff.
He did
Look
a lot
him
of
up.
stuff.
Google him.
He's a good
Wikipedia.
one. Yeah. All right.
Blakeston, number 4.
Napoleon Bonaparte.
Okay. Why?
I'm short, and he's a short king that made it. He made that shit happen. He's very short, and he was incredibly prominent and powerful.
He paved the way for the 5-4s.
He paved the way for me, if we're being honest. So, 100% might be even higher on the list, but he'd have to get a step stool.
But a teen, you went sort of opposite ends of the spectrum there. You went The Rock, who's I think 6'5", 6'4", 6'5", down to Napoleon Bonaparte.
The list is what you make it, my friend.
That's true. Number 3.
Number 3 for you.
You didn't like my Louis Pasteur, and
I'm picking people way too above my intellectual abilities.
Okay.
It's honestly, it's patronizing.
Michael Phelps.
That's a good one.
That's
a good one, dude.
I don't agree with it at all, but he came to mind, and I was looking at this tub of water, this ice bath that's out in front of me right now, and I thought about swimming, and I thought about Michael Phelps, and I said it out loud, and I should not have done that.
Well, then pick your number 3.
Your number 3. I'm sticking with it.
Which one?
Michael Phelps.
Well done. I couldn't agree with you more.
Thank you, sir.
He won how many medals in one?
I picked somebody who I actually gave a lot of thought into and tried to have good reasons, and you disregarded it. I picked Michael Phelps for no reason. I didn't disregard it.
I don't know who he is, and it makes me feel insecure.
You don't have to know. I'm sure there's plenty of people who you know that I don't.
I can't think of anyone that I know, let alone someone you don't know.
God damn it.
All right. Number 3.
Big drink of water.
Number 3 is on my list is the person after the number 4 when I think of them. All right. Jordan Francis.
Yes. He's a top 10 person for sure. He didn't quite crack the top 5 for me.
Yeah.
He's a top 10 person for sure.
Jordan Francis is my cousin. He's my favorite family member. The family member.
If we're being honest, he's the only family member that you actually fucks with.
Yeah. I function with him the most for sure. He lives out in California, and I am going to visit him for Thanksgiving. So, yeah, he's pretty righteous in about every facet.
He's a top 10 family member for you.
He's a top 10 human being in the world for me.
He's a top 5.
5, yeah, even better. He's a
top 3.
Yeah, maybe top 2, depending on if I can think of good people for my 2 and 3, 2 and 1.
Okay.
All right, Jordan Francis. Shouts out.
I haven't seen this person in a long time, but looking back over my years growing up through middle school and high school, and just so you guys know, setting the setting for you here, it's 150 degrees in the sauna, and I'm on my last leg. I'm incredibly exhausted and dehydrated. All right.
Okay. Who is it?
My heart is pounding.
He's injured.
Shouts to, and she may become president one day. I honestly don't know what her profession is right now, but her name is Grace Kane. She was the valedictorian for 2011 Park Hill, co-valedictorian, if we're being honest, because we had two of these genius type people. But looking back over my years in middle school and high school, she was incredibly kind and patient and lovely and even funny. If you got her to say something out loud, she was super quiet. But on top of that, she's just an absolute rock star genius. So Grace Kane, whatever you're doing this day and age, I hope you're getting all the things in this life that you deserve.
Good one.
Was that my number 3?
That was your number 3. No, that was your number 2.
Okay.
You already did your number 3.
Grace Kane, number 2.
Number 3 is Michael Phillips. Almost me, but Michael Phelps. Number 2, I found a loophole. The Blakeston Bryant household. Chase Higgins, Jamie Dever, and the Izzy Fulks.
Fuka.
The household from which I live and reside. Chase Higgins obviously is on my list, but I wanted to include Jamie and Izzy because they are 2 really awesome people that have lived with me for the past couple months, and it's been an incredible experience. Izzy will be featured on our next episode, actually, so stay tuned.
I like that. An entire household.
Yep.
So we're doing groups of people, which I didn't know. You cheating bitch.
I'm not cheating. I'm just, I cheated.
Adapting.
Yep. And overcoming.
You're getting away with what you can get away with. If you guys hear some banging around, my 5-year-old daughter's on the outside of the glass. You probably won't even be able to hear it.
Yeah, and if you want, I can beat her up for you guys, whatever you need.
This will be a warm-up for the 8-year-old. She's
yes,
only 5.
Sir. And you're number 1.
This is a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And I have to get through this, and I'm not going to get out until I come up with one because I am going to pass out.
All right. Who's your number one? I don't know who mine is, so that helps.
Who? I'm trying to think of somebody who's done like just an immense amount of good. Who stands up to the man? Who stands up to the Illuminati? Who speaks out about this shit?
Alex Jones.
You could.
Alex Jones.
If you do some cliche, like, I mean, yeah, I guess that is what
Nelson
we're doing.
Mandela.
Yeah.
He's the first one that comes
That's
to
a
mind.
Good one, dude. No, Violet, leave that close.
This man Nelson Mandela fought against apartheid South Africa. I mean, what else could a man do?
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
Blakeston.
Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
Aaron Donald, an absolute unit of a man. He got cheated out of Defensive Player of the Year for the 4th year in a row, or something to that effect.
No, he won it within the past 4 years.
He won it three years in a row. Should have had it 4 years in a row. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
Yeah, he is an absolute
Well, hold on.
behemoth of a man. They thought he was too small when he entered the NFL to play that position.
So
Look at him.
who won Defensive Player of the Year?
That year, it was either last year or the year before. I believe it was J.J. Watt or someone like that. I don't know or T.J. Watt. It might have been T.J. Watt.
Out of obligation? Out of like, this is probably a pretty good guy?
Out of he's very good too.
Yeah, he is.
I think that they just got tired. They probably got scared of having Aaron Donald take the trophy too many times, and they didn't want to give him too much power within the NFL. Is my assumption. I made that up just now. So
That's a theory.
yeah,
Aaron Donald made the number one.
Aaron Donald.
Is he a good man? What do you know about him?
That he does not put up with nothing. He will take your helmet off and smash it against your head if you mess with him.
I wouldn't say that's an admirable trait, but yeah, depends on what you value. Depends on what you value.
Yeah, he's just a unit, and I respect it. I respect his gangster.
That's true, because he's only 5'10". To be a defensive lineman, let alone a defensive end at 5'10", maybe
That
weighs
boy
what, like 240?
He's getting double, triple teamed every game.
Yeah. Yep. He's
All
a
right.
beast.
Yep.
All right, that's our top
Nice.
10, top 5 people. Quite the gamut.
This was quite the Queen's Gambit. You know.
That's a different word.
We are Jason Blakeston, and this was well thought out.
We are sitting, just for those of you not, if you're just listening and not watching, we are sitting in a 150-degree sauna, and we are literally soaked. That's not an exaggeration. I could go outside of this. Go watch the YouTube video. You'll see when I step out of the sauna, you'll see me wring out my shirt and take my shirt off in the whole 9 yards. Desi, can you get Blakeston's phone and start recording this little exit so we can transition flawlessly into the cold tubs? For those of you just listening, love you all to death.
Thanks, guys.
Take care of yourself.
Yep.
Try to become better people.
Yep.
Be mindful of why you're doing what you're doing.
Exactly what he just said. I agree with all of it tenfold.
All right, we're gonna go get in the cold. I'm gonna strip down and get in the cold bath. 1 second. Let me put this mic up.
Yep. Okay. I'm gonna also do. Oh my God! I got electrocuted. Don't worry about that. Watch out, Vi. Scoot back. Violet, get away. Go. Violet, get back. There you go, girl.
I'm gonna take my socks off and my pants off.
Your sockies?
Yeah, just because I don't want them to be.
Oh wait. Oh snap! You got attacked.
Just because it's hot, it can't even hold shape because the springs are getting too hot. I guarantee that's what it is. Here, put it all the way out of the way. There we go. 1 second. Stripping off my pants.
Nice Puma pants.
Oh, they're Hurley. Oh, my unders. All right. You ready, friend?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I'll go on the farther one. This is the one that got the ice in it.
Well, do we do the lights? Oh, who put that table there for me to hit?
I could.
Oh shit, I did this vertical. Should I have gone horizontal?
No,
You're good.
That's
I was gonna say, we need some more.
no. This
figure it out.
this vertical is good. Oh,
You guys can't tell because there's no ice in it right now. I dumped two 5-pound bags of ice in this tub and in that tub that Blakeston's in yesterday. And they've been sitting in the garage, which is about, what do you think, Desi? 45, 50 degrees in here?
Maybe 50.
this is. You can't tell, but this is actually the coldest water on planet Earth. It's the only water to stay in water form after getting below.
It's actually super cooled and yeah, it's
This is
below
actually
freezing,
just
but
ice.
it's still liquid.
There's
If you
actually
guys
a
don't
bunch
move, it is just ice.
Oh my God. What do I do about my soul leaving my body?
Desi, what's the timer at?
142 since we started recording.
Yeah, so let's go to 3, Blakeston, yesterday I waited until it kind of started to feel okay, and then I did a jiggle, and then I waited until it felt okay, and then I did a jiggle, and I did that 3 times. By the 3rd one, I was in pain. This, I'm holding completely still, and it's bearable, it's doable.
Yeah, totally, this doesn't hurt.
But I'm not gonna lie, yesterday I did this, and I was cold for about an hour afterward.
I can't, what's going on right now?
Does it when it gets to 3, we'll jump out.
45 seconds left.
All right.
Whoa, time's going slower too. Oh, I chuckled. Oh, that was a mistake. My body gyrated.
I wish you guys on camera could tell how cold this water is. There's literally no way to tell you how cold this water is.
They're lying to you. It's actually 95 degrees.
Can you imagine how comfortable that would be?
You can tell it's cold by the way that I can't say the dumb things I want to say.
Thank God. You should live in an ice bath.
No, you eat ass.
Oh, no laugh.
Oh, no.
Laugh.
I can't stop laughing. Oh, that wasn't worth it.
That's got to be 45 seconds.
You got 5.
Why was it so
4,
long?
3. I was trying to make you feel better. 2, 1.
No.
You're 3 minutes.
Well thought out. All right.
Hey, that's us. Oh my God.
Here, my friend. Here, my friend. It's incredibly cold. I'm too cold to make jokes. Yeah. Thank you for watching another episode. Love you guys. Listen, once again, you guys, this has been strictly an opinion. This is an op-ed. You understand?
And we're well fucking thought out.
And we don't know anything more than you do, but what we do know is that we can share our goddamn opinions. We're grown-ass men, and we're doing what we can to express our opinions.
F yeah.
None of this is a prescription. All of this is anecdotal. All of this is what has worked for us and us trying to sort through this mess that we call life.
And when I said F yeah just now, that's short for fuck yeah.
Love you. Bye.
See ya.